Hi everybody, how are you? This is Flosstube number 9 and today is Friday, February 4th, 2022. And I'm Kayla. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll like it and stay. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So I've been stitching quite a bit the past couple of weeks. I don't have any finishes, but I have 3 new starts. I felt kind of naughty, honestly, just being like, oh, I'm starting stuff all willy-nilly. I don't usually allow myself to do that. Maybe 1 start I'll do, but not 3. But anyway, I did 3. So I have the fabric haul that I talked about that I ordered last time. I have progress on whips. Like I said, I have 3 new starts to share with you. A little bit of plans, and Amy wants to share something with you guys today, so she may visit at some point. And I also have my two antique things to share with you. One is my great grandmother's sewing basket, and the other is something else. So let's just let's start, I guess. Okay, so I have not filled out my book of days for the past couple of days, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Let me look. Okay, so yeah, just yesterday and today I haven't filled out yet, but I ended up doing some stickering on the first page and put my initials with the stickers. I saw somebody else do that and I was like, oh, that looks so fun. So I did that. We finished out January. It's all full. Not awful, all full. And now we're into February, which I have some stickers on. I mean, some of which is just like silly, like this is Molang, which I think is a Korean cartoon. Super adorable. Me and the kids like watching it. Anyway, and then, you know, some of the like fancier stickers. So that's that. Let's start by sharing with you the Dutch Sampler by Kathy Barrick, because this was the project that I had, sorry for the crinkling, that I had spun the wheel for, and it was the one that I had to do with the 8 hours on. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes explaining the words that are in my brain. Okay. Anyway, I'm trying desperately to get the cover photo out for you guys. Here is the cover photo. So I needed to do a minimum of 8 hours on this. I actually spent a little over 10 hours on this. And I was able to make some decent progress. I'm excited to keep seeing progress on it. Sorry I didn't take anything out of bags ahead of time. If I had to do all that, we probably wouldn't be here. So just, you know, trying to get things going. Okay, let me move my needle. Oh, geez. Okay. So here it is. I guess it doesn't look like much, but the first time I showed this after I'd started it, I really only had half of this little bottom border done. So in the 10 hours I spent on it, I was able to finish the bottom border and then start in on this strip here. So I'm up to here. This pattern, I don't know if you've maybe, I'm sure Kathy Barrick's other patterns may be like this as well, but it's not just a single page. It's like a double wide page folded, you know, so it's like 2 single pages but attached, so it's not a single pages. Anyway, so it's 2 full pages like that, and then on the last part of the pattern it's like this tiny little strip of stuff plus all the writing about the sampler, and then, you know, the legend for the floss colors and all of that. So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm finishing this strip that's on the 3rd page first, and then I'm going to work upwards into all these beautiful motifs. So I was able to get, you know, a decent amount done from that strip, and I just have the, you know, part of the deer and part of the church to go before I'll be done with that. I think there is also a bird in this tree that is on this strip, but yeah, pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with what I've done so far. I'm really excited to get to the church and also to get to the other pages, because then, you know, like right now it's like half a lady, part of the bird. But then you get to the other pages, right? And then you'll get to see the whole bottom part. So that'll be lots of fun. And I'm excited about that. Okay, hold on one second. I'll be right back. Amy's ready to share her stuff. So we're gonna take a brief interlude into Amy's sharing, and then we'll be back to cross stitch.
Hi. So I really wanted to show you this book that I'm making. So you can't really see it, but I named it Chi-Chi's book because I made a character called Chi-Chi, and she's a unicorn girl. So
Okay, let me hold it for you while you talk.
Here's the first page I made. It's really cute, and she's with her pet unicorn Lily. And then it says a minute later, and she hears a noise coming from that way. So she just looks at Lily and tries to ask her what she thinks it is, and her unicorn says, I don't know. And then it turns into nighttime, and her unicorn is getting really tired, and then the unicorn plops down, and then it's sleeping.
Very nice. Do you want to say anything else?
I also want to say hi to you, Heidi, and thank you for saying hi to me every time.
Very nice. Good job. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, let me scooch back over. Good job, Amy.
Yeah.
Okay, where was I? Back to cross stitch. So we talked about Dutch sampler. Next, before I starting everything, I think, or I might have done one start, but we'll talk about a whip that was in existence already. I also worked on Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower, and sorry, with my needle and thread, I got a decent amount done on this as well. When last you saw it, this border was done, and I had this pot done, but nothing else. So I finished the flowers in the pot. I stitched the whole lady and this motif by her, and then I'm starting in on the alphabet border. So yeah, I just have to finish the alphabet border and obviously the letters that are in here, and then there's 2 motifs up top, and then I'll be finished the first, you know, a whole page of the pattern. So that's cool. That skirt took a really long time, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Oh, one change I did make, I'm using the called for DMC here, but except her eyeball was the same color as her hair, which is the same color as the berries, because I'm using the conversion from the chart. I should say it's called for, you know, DMC, like it's on the chart, but it's half of it's converted because I'm not using any of the fancy flosses. So anyway, I didn't want her eyeball to be like reddish, so I changed it to the dark brown that's in the pattern. I don't remember what, but I mean, it's a single stitch. It doesn't really matter. And this is on 36 count shale by Picture This Plus, 1/2. I should have said with the Dutch sampler, this is on 36 count Havana by Weeks Dye Works. And I'm using the DMC conversion from the chart with the exception of the thread gatherer silk, it's willow green. Everything else is just DMC though. Not just DMC, the DMC. I love DMC. I'm a big fan. So those are the things, the current whips that I worked on. And then I had 3 new starts. And I actually think, yeah, I totally worked on Huckleberry Farm after this first new start, but that's all right. So last week, before we had a snowstorm, because we had a snowstorm last weekend, I was starting to think about spring and summer. So I decided to pull, just grab DMC out of my stash. There is a DMC conversion inside this chart, but I didn't use that. I just grabbed what I grabbed. So, I mean, it's close. I just looked at the pattern picture and then picked something similar. And I'm doing this on 32 count charcoal by Zweigart 2/2. If you're interested in the colors I used, I'll let you know, but I don't know if you would be or not. Let me just move this needle. I actually made decent progress on this for only working on it a couple of days. So it won't take too long to, I mean, the flowers take a little bit of time, but I don't think it would take me too long to finish. And I did decide to switch. Oh, here we go. In the cover, the jar is red and the bow is blue. I said this before, but I'm switching the bow to be red and the jar will be blue. I know for sure Mandy, I think from Homemade, is it Homemade Home? No, that's not it. I'll have to find her. I can't remember her channel name. I know I mentioned her before, but she definitely did that color conversion. I think Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch also did. And I have blue mason jars that I use, so I don't know. I don't have any red ones. I thought blue would look pretty, so that's what I'm doing with that. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, this is only a couple of days of work, so it won't take me too long to finish it. I just have to. But what happened was I started this before we had our snowstorm last weekend, and then we had a snowstorm and I did not feel like working on springy summery things anymore suddenly. So I was like, I'll put it away, but it was a good start and now it started. Can't finish something if you haven't started it, right? So yeah, that's that. I'm glad, honestly, for a while I was afraid to start a bunch of things because I thought I would be overwhelmed or feel guilty or whatever. I mean, right now I have less than 10 whips, but I feel fine about it. I don't think I'd be fine if I had like 60 whips. No judgment on those that do. I think they're so fun to see, you know, but the amount that I have and even maybe a few more I'd be okay with. Anyway, okay, so my next new start is, let me get the cover page out because I'm unprepared. Sorry for the crinkling. Oh, for heaven's sake. Hello. There we go. Whew. That was a journey. Okay, my next new start is Worthy Brown by Carriage House Samplings. This I love. I love the bird on here. I love the name Worthy. I think that's so sweet and cute. I'm excited to do these little diamonds because you know, one side of it is satin stitch and the other is cross stitch, so I think that's going to add fun texture. And yeah, this was one of the patterns that my mom found at the thrift store for 25 cents. I don't know if it's still available, but I'm using the called for DMC from the chart and I'm stitching it on the leftover piece of 36 count vintage country mocha that I had after I started Nightshade Bird. And I did not get very far on this at all, but still decent. Oh, let me move my thread. See, I'm always doing this. I am always saying, let me move my thread, but I always do it to give myself a present for later. I always say that because I know I'm going to be using more of the red. So I just have part of the border motif started. I think I have 3 more up this side to do, perhaps. Yeah, 3 more up this side to do. I have the whole bottom side done, and then I've got to do the other sides and then finish the border. And then I'll move in on all the fun stuff. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I don't really have much else to say about it. That's what I've done. Just these little doodads, you know. But I'm excited that, I don't know, I just love it. That big old bird, little feet. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Let me just put this over here. So I'm trying to, okay. All right. My last new start is, I'm very excited about this one too, I'm excited about everything, is Quaker Handwork by Brenda Gervais. Sorry about the glare. I am using the ring light thing because it is raining today and all the snow is melting. So Quaker Handwork by Brenda Gervais. Now, I have Crystal to thank for this. Crystal from Stitching in the Green Mountains. You guys should check her out if you haven't already. She's got a lot of great projects and is very sweet. And I like her videos a lot. And she also shares quilting and other things. So anyway, her and Christine from, I want to say Mountain Stitch Studio, though I could be wrong, but she's also got another great Flosstube. You should check them both out if you haven't. They are doing a stitch along together. And I knew Crystal had this pattern and was planning on starting this because I think in my first video when I did my birthday haul, I shared this pattern. She was like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing, you know, I'm like saying her voice, but you know, she was thinking about doing a New Year, New Start with it. And I was like, oh, that would be so fun. But as you guys know, I was working on the anniversary piece for my husband, and then I was like, I'll start Dutch Sampler after that. So I just wasn't ready. But anyway, now that she is stitching it, I just couldn't hold off anymore. I was like, I need to do this. Can't wait, blah, blah, blah. So, hi, Crystal. Thanks for the motivation. So that's what it's going to look like. I don't have the called for fabric. I'm using a leftover piece. Well, not kind of, it's almost a fat quarter left really, but not quite. From Grace Bridges, I bought the antique ivory, but you have to buy a fat half because she's so big, but you have almost a fat quarter left. I know that was like a lot of word salad there, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, so this is on 36 count antique ivory, and I just started this on Tuesday. But I feel like it's going super duper fast. I mean, it's not very big either. And I don't know, I think Quaker motifs are just a lot of fun to stitch. So I'm working currently in this motif here. And then I've got, I think, 2 more bigger medallion, you know, Quaker style-ish things along the top. And then I get to do all the fill-in and add in some color. I'm using most of the called for flosses. I couldn't lay my hands on a couple of them. I didn't have them. So let me find my little sheet here. They're kind of a mess, of course, shockingly. Some of them, like I had already used some of them for other projects. And then here's the DMC 610 that is called for. So yeah, so it was the Gentle Arts colors that I had trouble with. I had Mulberry already, but I couldn't get the other 2, which I'm trying to grab to find for you guys. I could not get Gentle Arts Harvest Basket or Gentle Arts Caramel Corn. I didn't have them, couldn't find them, blah, blah, blah. Now I was looking at DMC, you know, Gentle Arts to DMC conversion charts because I was like, oh, I'll just sub in the DMC, no big deal. Well, on all the conversion charts I looked at, 612, DMC 612 was recommended for both of them. And now this chart, with the exception of the reds, it's a very subtle color changes, right? They're not extreme color changes, and in the wrong light, you really can hardly tell that there are color changes. Even in what I showed you already, this is 2 different colors. Like these 2. This is Polywog by Weeks Dye Works, I want to say. No, by Classic Color Works. And this is the DMC 610. And you can't really hardly tell. In person, in sunlight, you can tell. But anyway, it's very subtle. So I thought, okay, maybe it'll be all right. But then I was like, you know what? I want them to be different, even though it'll be subtly different. So I had already Weeks Dye Works Sandcastle in my stash left over from when I did Winter Rose Manor. And I don't know if I make the light brighter. Let's see if I make the light a little bit brighter. See if you can see the difference a little bit better. not really. You can't really see the difference much better. But anyway, they are subtly different. Sandcastle is very slightly lighter and has a little bit of variegation in it. And the one that I'm going to sub it in for, I mean, they're not big sections anyway, so it'll be fine. If I have to, if they're really close together and you can't tell the difference in any parts, which I haven't gotten to decide to see yet, I'll just sub in like a crew or something so there is a difference. But Brenda Gervais knows what she's doing, so I trust her. So I'm just doing my best with what I've got. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I haven't put it down. I've put it down. I've done other things, but as far as that project, since I started it, that's what I've been working on since Tuesday. And yeah, I really like it. It's really a nice project to work on in the winter if you're not hating winter because of the browns and everything and just like the subtle changes. I don't know, it just has that mood to me, like appreciating the gray and the brown, even though, you know, because we don't get to keep snow all winter here in New Jersey, unfortunately. Last winter we did for most of it, but this one we've had a tiny bit of snow and then it was gone, and then we had, you know, like 9 or 10 inches, no, probably like 9 inches last weekend. We did go sledding twice. That was a lot of fun, but now it's rainy and just yucky, and so, you know, browns again. But anyway, it's a great project. I'm super excited about it. I mean, I just love it. So yeah, thanks Crystal for the motivation to start it. And guys, you should definitely check her out. Stitching in the Green Mountains. That's her channel name. Okay. All right, so where am I? I'll show you guys the fabric that I got, and then we'll talk about another start planned, which I may or may not get to in the next 2 weeks, but I might. And then maybe we'll spin the wheel, and then I'll show you my antique things that I have to share. Sounds like a plan. Okay, so I ordered some fabric from 123 Stitch, being that I got Christmas presents of cross stitch, which I want to stitch, and I had a lot of other patterns already that, you know, my mom had gotten for me from thrift stores and so on and so on. Needed some more fabric, so I went ahead and ordered some. This is an 1/8 yard 36 count Weeks Dye Works gray, so that's a good one to have. This is a 1/4 yard 36 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. Another great one to have. This one's kind of fun, but I think I can find a bunch of stuff to put on it. This is a fat 1/4 36 count of Aqua by Zweigart. These next two are 40 count, which I am a little nervous about. I've never stitched on 40 count before, but I think I can do it, hopefully, in good lighting. This is just a 1/16 of a yard, 40 count Flax by Zweigart. Again, great neutral. A little nervous about the 40 count. This will be fine. And this is 40 count, a 1/16 of a yard again, just a tiny little, you know, tiny piece. This is Blush by Zweigart, and this seems like it'll be easier to see than the Flax one, but we'll see. Don't know if you can tell, it's just barely pink. It's blush. Then I got a 1/16 of a yard 36 count Smoke Blue by Zweigart. Kind of thinking, oh geez, well, what if I could think of her name? Holly by Not Forgotten Farm might look really pretty on here. And then I got some more Havana by Weeks Dye Works. This is 36 count, and this is what, a fat 1/8. This is planned for HL's Moth by Kathy Barrick, which I got for Christmas, that pattern for my sister. And that's the called for fabric, and I'll have to look at the chart. I think it probably calls for silks, and I'll probably stitch it with DMC just for cost savings. But we'll see. And then, what is this? Where's the tag? Oh, geez. Oh, here we go. Found it. And this is a fat quarter of 36 count light mocha by Zweigart. Just another really good neutral that you can put, most things you can put on this. So, you know, I don't always do the called for fabric. Sometimes if it's special, like the shale for Huckleberry Farm. There it goes. Found it finally. It was in there. Or, you know, the Havana for the Dutch sampler, or for the HL's moth. I'll try because it's very distinct unless I can think of something else. But, you know, I don't feel like I need to do the called for all the time. I mean, nobody has to. Whatever. I know some people really like to, and that's totally cool too. Sometimes I just want to be able to start something, you know. So, okay. Plans? I'll just show you my next next start once I get a fire under me wanting to start stuff. I'm going to start Sheep Heap by Plum Street Samplers. I love these guys. They're so cute. And I pulled DMC for it, which is, there's a conversion back here. You know, of course it has fancy floss, but I've just used the conversion. And I'm thinking of doing it on this, this check, what is this, Lugana? Is that what you call this? The 32 count cotton modal blend? Is this called Lugana? I don't know. Anyway, I think it might look really cute on this. The background fabric here is like, you know, a neutrally tan. What's this called for? 36 count oaken, which I don't have. I mean, I could totally just grab some light mocha or something too, but I don't know. I thought it might be fun to do it on this. We'll see. We'll see if the colors show up. I think they will though. So that is a potential upcoming new start at some point. Maybe if I kind of do want to finish something. So maybe if I finish Quaker Handwork or the Bloom Chalkful, maybe I'll just start this as a little small to have going. But who knows? Who knows? You know, I'm not very good at sticking to my plans, except I've been pretty good about the 8-hour thing. All right, so I'm grabbing my iPad. Oh, I was watching Celeste Creates. Got to keep watching her later. Okay, so let me find the spinny wheel thing, and we'll see what I'm going to put in 8 hours, definitely, you know, before the next video. Let me make sure I have everything on here. No, I don't. I've got to add Quaker Handwork to it. Excuse me for a second. Add. Sorry, I thought I had it on here. But I guess when you start a bunch of stuff, sometimes you can't keep track. Okay. Okay, now Quaker Handwork's on here too. So here we go. I'm going to spin it. Angelic Vision. Okay, that's good. It's good. It's good. I need to work on her if I'm ever going to get her done. So that's my plan. I'll do a minimum of 8 hours on Angelic Vision. That's good. Okay. All right, so let's talk about antiques now. This isn't that long, I don't think, right? Let me share with you first. Should I do no, I'll do a cross stitch antique first. Okay. So this has actually been I've had this for probably over a month, maybe 2 months. I purchased 2 antique samplers on eBay, small, and for an excellent price. I was the only bidder, and they were from the same seller, so shipping got combined. And I purchased them not just for the intent of having them, but also to reproduce them. So this one I'm about to share with you is, I've already charted it, actually. And now I just have to stitch it so that there will be a model, and I'll make sure everything's good. And then I'll have to figure out how to format it nicely so that it can be purchased and people will actually, you know, enjoy having it. So I'm going to share with you the antique. There's quite a bit of disintegration. There are some holes and some staining. And when I did this, I actually did a little bit of an adaptation because of all the disintegration. Some of the places in the borders, I didn't even know if it was finished at some point or if it just disintegrated. So, yes, it'll end up being very close to this, but a little bit of an adaptation. And this is from someone named Ana Medina, and it was made in the year 1903. It says Año 1903. So I was very attracted to this chart because especially of this bird, which is missing its beak. I also do like this bird, which looks like it's yelling. And that cool dog in the middle. There's going to be a lot of color changing and confetti. She chose some pretty wild colors. But yeah, that's another thing that I am going to be working on. Like I said, I've spent all the time charting it, which took me quite a while, especially for my first time trying to reproduce something. So, and I've got the DMC. I'm just going to be doing a DMC, called for DMC, and I've got to stitch it now. And then, yeah, figure out how to format it. I use the program PC Stitch right now. I know there's another one, WinStitch, which a lot of people use. But I am not the most, you know, computer savvy person. So it's actually very easy to use, but my problem is now getting that pattern, you know, into a document that will be pretty to purchase, right? With the nice cover page and the legend looking nice and everything like that. Because right now, like I have the chart printed for myself to use, but it's not, you know, it's not a pretty product for someone to buy and be like, oh, look at this chart. It's so nice and easy to read. So that's a challenge for me right now. But anyway, I'll show it again. Yeah, Ana Medina, 1903. This is going to be upcoming, available at some point. I don't know how long it will take me, but yeah. I actually have, so I have one other small antique, a little smaller than this, that I just started charting yesterday. And I have a few other charts that were just from my brain, you know, that I made up, that are smalls that are already charted. And then I have several bigger projects that I have sketched out that were just from my brain, you know, just my ideas, whatever, that I've sketched out but haven't started charting yet. So I've got a lot of ideas, and then I have a whole page full of ideas that I haven't even sketched out yet. So yeah, that's a little scary because it's something new. And you know, you feel like you're putting yourself out there, but whatever. That's sometime in the future, that'll be a thing too. Okay. Now, if you guys are done, or if you're only here for cross stitch, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time, hopefully. But now I'm going to just share with you guys my great-great-grandmother's sewing basket and its contents. So yeah, bye. And if you're here still, hi. So I'm trying to find I have a picture here that I saved, my mom sent to me. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in. That's my grandma. She passed away when I was a baby, so I did not know her. Okay, so in this picture, this is my mom when she was a little girl, and this is her great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother. This is Viola Hilbert. And I don't know just a ton about her. I know that her and her husband, they owned a farm in Pennsylvania. And I know that she sewed, obviously, because they have her fabric scraps, and she quilted because I have some quilt blocks that she made. It was a quilt, you know, work in progress. They had a farm, as I said, and I do know that they had, my grandfather told me this one time, they had an apple tree in their, you know, probably close to the kitchen door. So in the backyard, kind of, in this farm, where my great-great-grandfather had grafted different types of apple trees onto this one tree. So the branches grew different kinds of apples, which is like so cool that he knew how to do that. It's definitely not common knowledge these days. I certainly don't know how to do that. And anyway, my grandfather said that when he was a boy, one time he was playing on the tree and broke one of the branches, and he was upset because he knew it was his grandfather's favorite tree. And, you know, his grandmother was like, well, you're going to have to tell him. And I'm sure it was fine, but that's really all he said. But anyway, this is her sewing basket. Now, this is, I was actually kind of surprised when my mom was like, I have her sewing basket. Do you want it? I was like, yeah, for sure. I was kind of surprised when I saw that it was this. Now, as far as I can tell, this type of basket is imported from China, and it was imported between the years 1900 to 1940, I want to say. And oftentimes they would also have like coins or beads attached. This one looks like it just has the weaving in it. I also have a bigger basket that's the similar shape, just larger, that is plain on top. That was also hers. So, but that was empty. Viola, I believe, was born in the late 1800s. I don't know her actual birth date. I need to try to learn more from her, about her, from my grandfather or my great uncle. Yeah, but this was hers, and let's just go through the contents. I haven't gone through it in a long time, so I actually don't remember everything that's in here. Okay, so here's, I don't know why, I just love it so much. Like, look at all these, just tons of pins just jammed in here. This is special, this next thing. Look at this pin cushion. Look at that. You know, she's got her pins in there. All this beading. Like, I wonder if she made it or was it purchased for her? Really pretty. This is so special. I should probably, I don't know, I feel like I want to display this better, right? Not just have it in the basket, but anyway, okay, what's next? This is just a little, this is a Tums tin. This was probably kept because it would be good to hold some needles if I could get it open. It's empty, but it would be really good to hold some needles. What's it got on here? It's got a horse and buggy. It's got a train and a ship and an automobile. Man, don't you wish Tums packaging looked like this now? Cute. All right, we've got some Woolco darners. There's only a pin in here and a needle there. And made in USA, real silk hosiery mills. Okay, what is this? It's a hosiery. Hosiery? I'm embarrassing myself. It's a kit. For further real silk service on service kits, call 405 Brooks Building. Phone WB5979 Wilkes-Barre, PA. Pretty cool. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Then we've got this. I don't know if she was just practicing or what. There's not much, there's one thing more. This is funny. I don't know why it's in here, but it's a Fiji's pancake mix bag. Maybe she thought she was going to use the fabric for something. I'm not sure. So that's it. Not a ton in here. It's now empty, but I think it's pretty cool anyway. And like I said, I do have a small box upstairs, which you've seen some of the scraps that I've used. of her material. There are a few, like 3 or 4 quilt blocks that she made, and then a lot of other things, like a lot of little squares that she had cut out. So at some point I want to use the quilt blocks and maybe make some zippered pouches or something. But I feel like this is just the most cool and special and pretty thing in there to me. Everything else is neat, but yeah. Okay, so that's all I've got for you guys today, I think. I hope you guys are well. Stay safe and healthy and keep stitching. And I'll do my 8 hours on Angelic Vision. I knew it was going to come up at some point. I've been putting her off, but yeah. So anyway, take care and have a great day. Okay, bye.